Hey, Don here. Okay, back with another live stream all about my HP DL380 G7 server. I need to make sure the sound is back with another live stream all about my HP DL380 G7 server. Okay, now, yeah, I believe since I'm running, this is my old machine. I'm going to close the browser until I get needed again. Okay, so I'm going to go to the desktop and show you. I got that. This is a screenshot I made of that error the other day. This is where, well, it hung up there again today, same place. So it tells you the Ethernet, tells you the ILO IP address, and then slot O HP Smart Array P, that says P410i controller, 1024 megabyte. That's the a gigabyte of backup on the in case of power loss, and then that's built into the P410i. Well, if you have the battery, which I do, and then you have sorry, starting to get drainage. So this threw me off a little bit, but I finally remembered. Three logical drives, 1797. I looked things up. I don't know what that 1797 means. Well, it says 17. It looks like it's the number of the actual number of the slot. It's probably somewhere in the manual. So I do have. I didn't think I had three logical drives. What I do, I have the one that I'm running. I have 6 drives set up in a RAID 5 array. That's what I run my operating system on. And then I wanted to have 2 free drives in case one died. And so I had just had them in. I didn't have any blanks. You know, I just had the drives. That's the way the server came with 8 drives. There's 2 more drives. So 2 of them I formatted in. I didn't do it with the RAID setup. I did it with. I'm running Fedora Linux, Fedora 32, and I did it with Cockpit sysadmin app. Remote. You know, you can do it remotely. Of course, I was actually on the machine, but. Anyway, I set it up in there, and I decided to do that in case I wanted. I thought I might run some virtual machines on those drives, you know, for testing and stuff. Well, and I thought I might set up my website on one, but I set them up as, I was thinking I'd probably set them up as 2, you know, in a RAID 5, two drives, but I think what I did, obviously right there, just, I'll look in a minute, but I set them up as 2, you know, just RAID 0, I believe is what I must have done. So, because it didn't need to really be backed up unless it was important, and also I always wanted to be able to, like, if a drive goes bad, I wanted to be able to pull one out and, you know, use it in the wherever the drive went bad, because I don't have any more drives, and wasn't sure if I really wanted to buy more of those drives. They're only 146 gigabytes altogether. I've got like 500 gigabytes, you know, from my operating system, and that's plenty. Well, maybe not plenty when I start making videos, but. You know, I would like, well, see, when I bought this, it was pre-2020, maybe a year before then. I got it set up. I had it on 11 months before I really got it set up and using it, but, you know, prices weren't bad on drives when I bought this, and not great, but anyway, I thought I'd just buy some big SATA drives, SATA drives. So anyway, they're too expensive now. They've gone way up. Now, okay, 3 logical drives, 1797 slot. Oh, okay. I guess that's how I should read that. Drive array, driver accelerator, data backup previously failed, array accelerator is disabled. Now, that was the thing that I kept seeing when it was booting, and I kept thinking, I got to look into that, and I never did. I got thinking. Maybe because of the way I formatted those drives, and this system don't see them because they weren't done by it. You know, that's probably what it is. Probably those 2 drives didn't back up, and then it, you know, and then it tells you what you could hit different keys, but if you hit them, it does nothing. The mouse, the USB mouse is not responding, and I think when things kind of go wonky, it happens easily because I'm running through 2. The way I got things set up, I'm running through 2 USB hubs. because my keyboard is the USB hub, but it's a 1.0 USB. It's fine for a keyboard and a mouse, but if you try to move any data or anything, I never really used it because I have a 4-port USB KVM switch, and I'm always switching to different machines without thinking about it because that's what it's for. And if you got something plugged into either one of those USB connectors on the keyboard, it disconnects it instantly. So I just got in the habit of not using it. Plus, it's too slow now too. It was fine when I got it. I bought it when 2.0 just came out, and it's a great keyboard. Lasted up. Well, I got two of them. One of them I did pretty well work. A couple of keys didn't work good, and I had bought another one and just left. I had actually bought it for my mom, but she didn't like it. It's too big, she thought. So I just kept it, laying around until I needed it. And so after 10 or 15 years, I started using this one. So it's still in good shape. And then my mouse is about 21 years old, probably 20, just say 20 years old. Microsoft IntelliMouse, it has an extra button there. I can actually put it in the picture. It has extra buttons right there, and they're handy for going back and forth, and not just in the web browser, but in some applications will accept that input. They can be aggravating if you accidentally hit those buttons. But okay, so here we are. I got this error. So today I just powered the server off, hard shut it down on, with the power button, and turned it back on. And this time it came up with something different. And I'll just try to tell you. I'll try to tell the story in the order of the way it happened. So I wrote down some of the error, or I didn't have a camera running. It took me from 5 in the morning. I was about 5 in the morning when that happened, and it's 11:30 now, 11:28 now. So let's get this. I'll leave that little picture open in case I need it. Let's see. I don't know where I am. I'm on the desktop. Okay. So let's go back to the camera for a minute. Okay. What we got here on my sticky note, slot 1I Bay 2 failed. That's the error that I saw after when I rebooted it. It came up like right after I was just showing it, instead of going normally into boot like it always has. I've never seen this. And then it said hit F1 to continue, or F2, and it told you what all the differences between what would happen. And I decided. Let's see. I don't think either one of the keyboards were still working. Earlier I had turned on the wireless keyboard to see if it would work, but in that situation it didn't pick up and start working either. So I couldn't do nothing but hard shut down. And I was fixing to see if if the regular USB keyboard didn't work, then maybe the wireless would. But like I said, it's still plugged into the same hub that this keyboard is plugged into. I really guess I didn't even think to go plug it in straight to the machine because I didn't have anything in the way. When I'm making videos, I don't have enough USB ports. That's why I bought that hub. And it usually, when I started having trouble with it, the first time it hung up, it did it once or twice over the last year, and hanging up like that. And I wanted to figure it out, and I didn't like not being able to use my keyboard, when it did that. And so I started plugging the USB dongle into the front of the machine, but then I made the video a week or two ago, and then a few days ago, I guess, really, and I pulled it out, and I didn't want to put it back in there, in and out, so I just put it over here. So then, of course, you have another error. So I'm not 100% sure that it would have worked in that particular spot. Maybe when it errors out like that, it just doesn't. It should. It's telling you to hit the keyboard, but no, it doesn't have PS2. So it should work with a USB keyboard. There shouldn't be a problem, but it's the hubs, I'm sure. Probably that hub over there. For some reason during all that, something happens, I even tried rebooting it this time, the hub. I unplugged it. It has an external power brick for it, and I tried rebooting it, and it didn't. Probably doesn't reboot as long as it's plugged into the server, though, because it'll be getting power from there. It really there's 2 charging ports on it, and I think that's the main thing that it's there for. I think if there wasn't, I don't know. I could be speculating if it would power Whether or not it only powers the chargers or if it powers the rest of the connectors, it probably does, because it'd probably just be more complicated to wire it not to, you know, maybe in the production, I'm guessing. So anyway, F1 or F2, and then I thought, oh man, I want to at least get a picture of this. So I started, you know, I've got phone cameras, and I've got this one up here. This one doesn't do good pointing at the monitor. It's hard to get it to show what's on the monitor. It doesn't like it. The automatic focus and white balance and all that. So while I was trying to get something, I saw that it was counting down. So it must have been 30 or seconds or a minute that it was counting down, but I saw it was getting lower. So keyboards weren't, oh yeah, my keyboards weren't doing anything. Did I hit? Yeah, I think I did. I hit the one I wanted to do, F2, I think. Yeah, it timed out. I wrote, oh, I see. I made an F instead of a T there, timed out. And F2 was the default, which what it did is it went ahead and went through the boot order. But it said, and I didn't have time to write all that down, it said that it was going to back up. I didn't really understand it at the time, but it mooted normally, and it's been set. Okay, so I don't have it just boots to command line, and I left it like that because I wanted to make a video of it, and because I wasn't sure what was the best thing to do, so I wanted to go look up look up in the manual. So I'm kind of getting off here. So okay, now I'm gonna switch to this other camera and show you. This is the state it's in, and then we'll go in the manual, and I'll probably make more sense when I have a little help there. So, okay, going to switch to the other mic so I can get up and run around. Switch to the other mic so I can get up and run around to the wireless mic. Okay, now I'm just going to turn this handheld around that way. There we go. Okay, there's the closet door, the one on the right, I guess. You'll see when I get over there. Okay. Oh, that's where I have my servers, in the closet. And cable's not as long as I thought it was, but I think it'll be all right. Okay. Now, this is the state of the lights. If I can get still. There we go. Okay. I'm going to turn on this light. I just wanted to make sure to do it both ways so we could see it. You should be able to see the drive 2. It's got a yellow light that doesn't blink. It's just a solid yellow or amber. I think they might call it amber. There's nothing over here showing errors or anything. Where's that thing that you pull out? Oh yeah, it doesn't have any electronics on it. That's just the registration stuff. Okay, some of them have. I watch server videos all the time. Some of them have. Get confused between what I got and what I see. I get confused. Said that twice. Well, I guess I should say it twice. Okay, so yeah, some of them have all the error lights on those things that you pull out, but this one doesn't. HP DL380 G7. That's what it is. Okay, so drive 2 has got cables fighting me. As soon as I went over there, the cable's in the floor. One was on, you know, one cable was on top of the one that was plugged into the camera. So let me just switch back here. I'm gonna go to the desktop. Okay, now. And we'll go to the manual. Okay, go to the manual. Now, I don't know if the audio was syncing at all. I know it's behind Wi-Fi camera, Wi-Fi audio. They don't stay together. And I was having I turned off that camera, and then I thought, well, I really want to use it. And then I noticed that, anyway, I turned things on and off, and the Wi-Fi camera audio finally got a little better, but it's still always behind. SM58's pretty much right on, because it's going by, you know, wire through the analog input on the computer. Okay, we're on desktop. We're on SM58. All right, now here's back. See, now that's the rest of the error that you couldn't. That I didn't. This is from the other day anyway, but I didn't have a way to get a screenshot of it. Forgot. Oh, I did that. How did I do that? I don't remember how I made that screenshot, but somehow, well, obviously it's the camera pointing at the monitor. So I guess I made a screenshot of my own video is what I did. Okay, so here is the tail end of the errors. I was searching for array in the that is the service maintenance and service guide is what that's called. And so online activity LED green is off, and the fault UID LED amber fault UID LED amber blue. Yeah, amber and blue. Or it can be amber or blue. Okay, and it. Wait. Okay. Oh yeah, steadily amber. I don't know if the word array was in there. Yeah, that's why that was down there like that. Okay, so this one here, steadily amber. A critical fault condition has been identified for this drive, and the controller has placed it offline. Replace the drive as soon as possible. Now, it said that in that part where I said about F1 and all that stuff, it said one of the errors that came up was replace the drive as soon as possible. So I was thinking, okay, I knew I could do it later, but I was thinking, now these drives are already formatted. Will they even work, you know, and all that stuff? Well, I knew I didn't have anything important on them. I wasn't worried about that. So then the other one that happens is amber flashing regularly, and so each one of these things is, you know, different faults. And see, there's the starting of it. And of course, when I was, whoops. Yeah, so when I was going through doing my search, because this manual is too big to just sit and read, I looked at all of these. I was like, well, none of these. I decided that, well, maybe it is flickering, and I just don't remember because I hadn't got up and looked. But finally, I finally found the next little part, and on the next page, and I said, oh, that's the only one that matches me. So yeah, because some of these are saying don't remove the drive because you know, it's backing data up and all the different things that it does. So now let's see. Yeah, I think I'll go. Well, let's go forward. That way we can get to the top of these particular results. Now here's the HP Smart Array P410i cache module. Okay, that's part of what I got. And then battery. It has a battery. I also have the battery. And that's actually a P800. And oh, I see. I have the P410i cache module battery pack. There's another one. Okay. Now let's see what we got. Now here's how to recover data from the battery-backed write cache. If you've had to tell you how to do it, if the I have to read a little bit of it. If the server fails, you do this. If the I'll kind of stop on each spot, so if you wanted to just do a screenshot for yourself. And then, anyway, it tells you exactly how to do it. And here's how to there's even a way to copy the backed up data off of that cache. You need ideally you need another server just like this one, same model and everything. But they say it can be done. It tells you how to do it. But you don't want to unplug the thing until if you got any data on it that you don't want to lose, because it'll go away when you unplug it. Right there. So anyway, I'm not going to go through everything it says, because it's actually not what's going on. Here's how to get the RAID card. They call it they call it the drive array, but they don't really call it. I don't think RAID is, well, it may be in this manual somewhere, but it's not in there about. That's what the RAID card is in this HP server. So there's where it plugs in. I don't know why they don't have. They usually have pretty good pictures, but that's just like I think I remember here. I guess yeah, Morton's videos. He was talking about some of them have a capacitor pack, some have a battery. So I guess this one has a battery, because I know I have a battery. I've seen it somewhere on all this. There's a picture. Let's go back. Maybe if I search through, I'll find it quicker. I was finding it, but just by doing this. But I might have been using backup. I did also use the word backup. Must have. I'll roll through a little bit. There's just going to be so much. Here it is. I was right there, and I just wasn't patient enough. So this is what it looks like, the battery container. That says capacitor pack. Okay, so it may have a capacitor in there as well, and I didn't realize it. Maybe kind of work together. Okay, and that's on about just general stuff. Yeah, if you have one of these servers, you can get this PDF from HP website. It may be back on the archive now. It was on the regular site when I got it about 2 years ago, but I noticed some things have been moving to the and they don't tell you. And when you try to click on, like say in the PDF, it may take you to wherever you might have a link. It'll be an old link, and it'll say this is no longer here. Some errors will tell you where to go to get that information. But it's not very good about telling you exactly where that archive is. Some links go straight to it. Sometimes you're just like, oh, I guess it's gone, but it's probably not gone. But anyway, so that's where the battery sets, and it's not even snapped in, or unless there's something that used to hold it that don't anymore. It's just kind of laying in that little spot there. Yeah, don't. Oh, the riser cage. Yeah, don't take the riser cage out with the server running. Okay. So I've been meaning, and it is an optional thing. You don't have to have that battery. It's just the only time it's going to cause you in trouble is if the power goes out, and it does. So I want to have one. You won't get whatever was being written will be lost. But luckily, as far as the operating system and everything, even if your data was being written, it'd be broken. But you could get it back because of this. I think it'll do it automatically. If when you boot it back up, it would say you lost something happened. Do you want to restore the data? I think is what it would do. I've never had it happen. But with those errors, I was thinking, was my battery dead? Is that not working? But then the other thing is, I'm wondering if let's see, backup. Yeah, here we go. FBWC module. Let's see. the FBWC module. Forgot what it is. Anyway, I think you're looking in the machine. I think there might be somewhere on the front and back panels too, though, that'll tell you. Backup in progress, flashing 1 hertz. Oh, flashing at 1 hertz. How fast it's flashing. Restored in progress. It's kind of confusing because I'm always thinking of hertz and, as in audio and radio frequencies, you know, and all that, and in EQ, because I did sound for bands for years. When you talk about a lot, but that is accurate. That's, you know, I like to learn about electronics, and so I don't know very much. I can't retain much. It's too complicated. But I've been watching electronic videos for the last 10 or 15 years trying to learn. But I just like to. I wanted to learn how to, you know, build things and stuff myself, but my brain, I can't retain stuff anymore the way I used to, so I haven't been able to do it. Okay, yeah, the capacitor pack is charging. Capacitor pack has completed charging, so that's what this FBWC module information. I just am kind of thrown off. I think that's still the P410i. I think that's what it is. Let's see. Yeah, it has 2 single color LEDs, green and amber. The LEDs are duplicated on the server on the reverse side of the cache module to facilitate status streaming. So I guess you may not see these. These little squares may be the LEDs. You may not see these lights unless you're inside the server while it's running. It may not be up on the front. I certainly haven't seen anything like that going on the front of the server. Hot plug fans, and on and on. Okay, so there's only one place in there that backup even shows up. So now there's RAID mentioned right there. One place in the whole manual that RAID is mentioned. Let's see. It's still, yeah, the battery pack is below minimum charge level and is being charged. Oh, okay. RAID migration, temporary. That's still talking about the P410i. I guess if I'd roll back far enough, I'd realize that's what it is. Battery pack LEDs. Okay, so there's the battery pack, a little bit bigger picture. Oh, okay. The LEDs are right here. Oh. Now I see 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And that's the riser cage. Okay. Yeah, see, they have things kind of, some things that I wanted to know about are in different places. But that's how I found exactly the things I really needed to know, was by searching for array. And there's the beginning of that recovering from, oh, okay. Here it is right here. I know that because you can tell what it is when you're in there. Well, and I watched all those videos before I bought this and I knew where to look for it. But there it is. It's not in the regular PCIe slots. It's got its own dedicated slot that, see, that's the main, where you plug in the cage. That's off to the side. And it has a wire running over here to the battery pack. And there may be a capacitor in mine too. I'm still kind of going around in circles about that, but yeah, I went by that 100 times and didn't remember. Okay, so I guess I'll leave that open. I do want to, I'm gonna close some of these extra things. That's pretty helpful. You see, yeah, my backup video is working just fine. Okay, now. I'm going to go ahead and check my stream because I am doing it live and I want to know that it's working. Okay, so I'm going to take the drive out, right? So, but before I do that, I want to kind of look, I'll show and help me think about desktop. that little preview on my one, my 4K camera has the preview, and I always think it's live when I see that preview. All right, now here's what I need to do first. Well, let's just only have one window open. Go ahead and make sure everything's okay with my stream. This page loads so slow. I don't like it being on that. Okay, let's see. Make sure everything's okay with my... This page loads so slow.
Yeah, I just heard what
I don't like it. Okay, so now I want to go to... don't worry, I'm see. Oh, I have a link to that. Would that gum you? Hate that. Okay, I have a link. There we go. This is. I was thinking it would come up if I typed cockpit, but of course there's too many variations of that word. I wonder if that was a joke why they named it that. Bad developers. Naughty. Okay, so yeah. Now this cockpit sysadmin, you can do it remote, or you can be. I am doing it remote this time. Oh yeah, I'm doing it remotely. That's what it is. Normally, most of the time I'm just on the server, but the server's booted up, and I don't even have it logged into the I don't have the GUI started up or anything. It's just in the command line. That's the way it starts, and then I have to log in and type start X and get it there. It's pretty slow at getting started. The app is. It's checking for updates. Let's see. Usually, you can go to something else. There's a red exclamation point there. I'm thinking maybe that is. Oh, that's services. That's probably not going to show. You can look at your drives in here. You can actually administrate your drives. Okay. Oh, I installed this sync thing, and then it was going to take a whole bunch of manual configuration in the config files and stuff, and I didn't want to fool with it. I was just going to try it out. So I just told it to not start. I told it I turned it off, and it does that. Let's see what other errors might be in there. Okay, so this is pretty cool. You have no GUI on your server, but you got a nice website to be able to see most everything that it's doing. And like I said, you can administrate things, do all kinds of stuff. There's a long list of stuff there. See, it's more than I can wrap my head around. The overview is where it was going to start. Now, the one service has failed. I just showed that. Okay. August 6, 2021. I guess that's today. No? Oh, let's log into cockpit, I guess is what it's talking about. Okay. CPU, memory history, configuration. Okay, let's look at the hardware details. I don't remember exactly what all was in there. Oh, this is real, all the details of the machine. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of details, so we don't really have to look at all that. Let's see. Storage. Let's go there first. The logs will tell us something, I bet. But I want to make sure I remember what I have done. Okay, so 8 terabyte USB. Okay, yeah, I got to remember that not to do anything to damage that. Now that's separate from the RAID or any of that stuff. It's just a regular Seagate backup drive plugged into a USB port. But yeah, it's an 8 terabyte, 722 terabyte, and there's 436 left on it. And then my boot is 8 30 is used of 976 megabytes. That's because I saved so many kernels on all this. The problem that I started having was like a few months ago was one day an update it would hang up and it wouldn't boot into the GUI. It wouldn't boot at all, actually. It wouldn't boot into a command line, anything. And I never did. I kind of tried to figure it out, but I knew they'd fix it sooner or later, and it actually ended up taking, I think I have 12 kernels in there now. I set it up to not delete any kernels, or not to like say 50 kernels or something, just to make darn sure. Well, 12 is the most you can hold in there because I don't think there's enough space to put another one in there. And I didn't think about that. I just got lucky and saw that one day. But I mean, luckily for me, the update that fixed it and made it work again was what I was doing was booting on the kernel that did work, the last kernel that did work, and I didn't want it to get deleted, so I made sure it didn't get deleted. I made a video on kind of how I did that. I'm not too clear on all that stuff. I've only done it like twice since 2005. Since I started out with Linux, this is only the second time I ever needed to do that. So, and like I said, my memory is not that great anymore. Okay, so. Yeah, here's my 541 gigabyte. That's my home. That's what I've got for my home partition. And 471 is what's used of it, so it's getting full again. I always have to back up videos is what does it, and so I've been saving some back, and I'll have to go ahead and delete them off my home partition, and I'll still have them in the backup drive, but only one copy though. So, NFS mounts. I don't think I had. NFS mounts is for, oh no, it's not just for, that's different. It's not just for NTFS, it's for anything. It's a networking. So, I used to use it, but it's kind of hard to work with, and it was cool because it could mount in any kind of file system, Windows, Linux, of any type. But it's hard to set up and keep working when they, like say when changes come along about how it works, and people always saying in articles that it wasn't secure, so they actually made it harder to get it going again. So I quit trying to use it. Okay, so. Logical volume, 684 gigabyte, dev SDB. Okay, now that's what all of my home and root and all that is in. Okay, and then I guess I said that right. That's in megabytes, 976 megabytes, not gigabytes. And then HP logical volume, 137 gigabyte. Yeah, see, and then HP logical volume. 137 gigabytes. So I can pull out like drive 8 probably and put it in slot 2. And then the Seagate expansion disk, it doesn't say disk, it says desk. That's weird. I think that might be how it's actually named. And then iSCSIs, I actually installed a bunch of software to set that up on this machine that the Lenovo i5, the one I'm videoing from, and it was really complicated to set up config files and all that. And so it just hangs up the boot for makes it like a minute or a minute and a half to boot up. I never did. I was just planning on reformatting, but I still haven't done that yet. There's all these things you got to get backed up and ready to go before you reformat. And I'm terrible at getting around to doing that. Okay, so let's just look at this. What's this got? Expansion disk. Now this is I formatted it in here. Those 137. And I'm wondering if the RAID card, the P410i, can even read these, and that's why it keeps saying it can't back something up, or it's because there's actually no data on there. And there's nothing to back up, but you think it would be intelligent enough to say, oh, there's no data, nothing to back up. That's what most backup software does. I've never seen any that didn't, really. Wouldn't throw an error, But that's the other backup drive. Okay, partition. This is not the one I clicked on. Clicked on that. Oh, I bet I clicked on it, didn't I? Okay, I meant to click on that. Yeah, there we go. Logical volume. Firmware version, 137 gigabyte of 147. So yeah, I set it up in a RAID 0. Yeah, both of them, separately in RAID 0s. Unrecognized data. Well, there is no data. Okay. Well, maybe that's a clue right there. Or does that? Yeah, it says unrecognized data. I never wrote anything to them, I don't think. Well, I thought I put a virtual drive on there, but they both show to be empty. Maybe I never. I was going to. Maybe I never did it. Can't remember now. Storage logs. Let's see what that's got to do. See if it's got anything to tell us about our drive that's not working. Just a bunch of really technical stuff there. Doesn't want to go back. There we go. So I don't see anything looks like an error. Let's go in this one. 810. That's today. Oh, okay. Well, it's not really, Now let's see. Networking, application, software updates. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to the. It put me in the logs. I'm already in them now. Here we go. Now we're really in them. Okay, let's go right here. That is Nick Copperlink is down. Oh, when was that? Got to make sure you know what order they're in. August 10. Okay. Kernel. I don't know. 10:25 a.m. Does that mean I've lost my stream? Did it happen just now? That's about what time it is. No, that was 10:25. Oh, okay. This is noon now. Okay. Look at this one. Oh, the sync thing. All right. That's going to be one in there every day. Yeah, sync thing. Every day when it boots, it does that now. But the Nick Copperlink was down. That might have been not working because it hung up on boot or something. I'm not quite sure why it would throw that. Okay, and then when was that? Too many CPUs, dynamic performance scaling disabled. Oh. Date font. Radeon. That's for GPU, yeah. Trying to figure out when the date was on that. Oh, that's all August 10th. That's all today. I guess all kinds of things kind of went wonky when it was telling you for a long time. Fedora was that there's with hyperthreading, there was a vulnerability in these, and they were saying, do you want to turn it off? And it tells you. And I didn't want to. I wasn't really worried about it because I'm not running. Well, the big problem comes when you're running virtual machines. And I was thinking about doing that and running my web server on it, but I hadn't done it. I've got it running on a web laptop. And so anyway, a couple of those updates, kernel updates before it quit working at all, I think maybe they did turn off the hyperthreading, did they? No, I think I was wondering. I was wondering if that hyper-threading was why it wouldn't boot, and I never did figure it out. Yeah. I don't think they were actually fooling with it without me. They were just saying they were giving you the choice to do it. It's still in there. But let's see. I'm looking for something about a drive or a disk or something. I was trying to skip all the ones about sync thing, but I might have skipped. I'm telling why. Let's try looking for. Yeah. There. Let's see. TCC frequency iNet tried to enable another scaling driver through BIOS settings. Let's see what that's talking about. Then doesn't give me any clue as to what what was throwing the error. I think they're both the same error. Yeah. Oh, it says driver, not drive anyway. So, let's try array. Nope. So that's why I don't always go straight to the logs, because there's so much in any logs I've ever seen. There's usually so much stuff. Error and above. You can do that. Critical. Yeah, let's try critical and see if it gets rid of some of the stuff. KJ. That's file manager. Would it dump? Core dump. KJ. I don't know, but it can't. I did a core dump on it. It runs even. I don't use it. It runs even when if the system's running, it's running. Kind of like Windows Explorer, I guess. Mate settings. Oh, that was August 8th. Yeah. Okay, so that's see now the errors are. I try only emergency. Nothing. Okay, alert and above. What was it? Try alert and above. Dawn is not in pseudo orders. That was June 5th. Okay. We'll go back to error and above. That's kind of seems like the best place to leave it. So I can't see anything in there that's talking about that drive. And that's what I wanted to know. You would think there would be something about errors on the drives in here. I guess that's the errors to do with the drives, but those are all around the same time, or not. iSCSI, LVM. Now, not that Fedora uses LVM, logical volume. But yeah, I'm glad I went and looked at the manual for the errors, because if I would have just yanked that drive out, I mean, it did say that you should replace the drive, so I knew that. But if you hadn't got things right in your head by looking at the blinky lights on the machine, then you might destroy data. So if you think your drive's acting up, make sure you know what's going on. But yeah, I'm confirming it. That's what I did when I looked in the manual, and now I'm trying to. I just want to know what it has to say about the errors on the drive, but I'm not seeing anything. And I wanted to make sure that it, like, if it can, it will back up whatever, it will restore, and it will get everything off of that drive that it can. And I don't want to stop it from doing that. but it's been running, you know, since about 5:30 in the morning. So it probably ran long enough. Yeah, 6:36. So I guess that's when I booted it up. Then probably. Well, that's the first error anyway that got in there. What is this? SmartD local bill. Let's see what that is. These may not really not be any hardware errors in this cockpit thing. I just realized that because it's all about Fedora. I mean, it's for Fedora, and that's what I'm seeing is stuff about the Fedora operating system. Now there's something. SDA SATA, I guess. SAT for SATA. Why did it go away? Oh, I see. The self-check stuff, right, on the drives. I'm not sure if it doesn't really look like I see any errors though. I mean, I don't understand all this. I'm just kind of scanning it. That's why I'm not looking at it in great detail. It's like something about SmartD, the self-checking. I know what that is. Okay, so monitoring O and then SDA. Well, that's all kinds of drives there. Talking about drives that aren't even in the system. Just it can monitor all kinds of drives. You hit the back. I'm using that back and forward button on my mouse and it doesn't work in here. And I have trouble finding where I left off. Okay, there we go. Not doing me any good. Okay. Talking about the people who wrote whatever application that is. Loading the iSCSI module and then the LVM. Let's look at the LVM. That I know what Fedora uses. I didn't set up any iSCSI. It's just there, and you could set it up. Don't see anything. Okay, so don't see anything that would. Let's go kind of look over the storage again and make sure. What's that? Create array device. Create a volume group. So that's how I set those drives up that I was talking about. They didn't have anything on them. All the drives were, I guess they were wiped, you know. This is a used server when I bought it. Okay, UDIS block object has no property named physical volume. But that's at 1155, so that's not when I booted it up anyway. Okay, all logs, let's see. Oh, it's just back where I was. Okay. I don't see anything that can help me. Now, see, the virtual machines that I have set up there. Oh, I think I only have the one. Yeah, the silver blue. And I think it was pointed back to my regular hard drive. So I never did set any more up. Yeah, see the images are put on your var lib, you know, up in here. I think you can maybe change where it goes if you want, but I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to just use it in stock condition, and because I was learning about it. That was Silver Blue was not any use for me either. But yeah, you create a VM, import a VM. This is the way Fedora has set up for you to do this now. You can do it in other applications, but this is supposed to be the premium way to do it now. And of course, the network, you have a network for your, you know, I believe this is, yeah, this is the one for the virtual machine. And so, updates should be all checked 23 minutes ago. I never did set up automatic updates. I would just, what did I do? I thought I did. Oh, I didn't do it in here because it would reboot the machine every time it updated. I don't know if I ever did set them up. I thought I did. Yeah, I set it up the other way, the way you set it up in Fedora. You have to edit some config files, but it's not hard. It's not a bunch of stuff. Okay, 0410. Yeah, it's when EOL, Fedora 32 went AOL a while back. That evidently was the last time it. Oh no, that's the last time I did an update in here. So that's not the last time the thing was updated at all. Okay. In here, if you get in here, it'll say there's updates available. Do you want to update? And once in a while, I would do that. But normally, I would. I did finally set up automatic updates. Yeah. Just look at SC Linux for a second. That's security Linux. That won't have anything to do with the hard drives. It shouldn't. But I haven't seen a SC Linux alert on here. I don't remember if I ever had one on here. Maybe once or twice. These are the applications that you can install, and you can install them. They're kind of like back-end stuff. But I did do some. Like I wanted to try out that image builder, but it didn't appeal to me. Too hard to use. It's not rolling. Yeah, virtual machines. That you have to install that. It doesn't come with it in there. Let's see. I don't know why. There. Now I can see more, but it's not paging. And to hit Control 11. Let's see. SC Linux. That's already there, I think. I don't understand why it's not. Oh, you don't hit. I was hitting Control F11. You just hit F11. That's for that. I don't see a bar over here. That's really weird. It used to be able to page through it. Maybe if you go out of it and go back in it, it'll work. But, where is it? Where am I? There we are. Terminal is just a terminal. I don't like this one at all. You can't copy and paste in it if I remember right. But it's a remote terminal. I mean, it can be very useful. If you need to run some commands on the machine, you can do it. But you can also just open up a terminal and connect with SSH, because that's what this does. And your normal terminals will have more features that work better. But if you're right there and you're just too lazy to open up another terminal, then go ahead, do it. Okay, services, yeah. Okay, so that sync thing deal. Guess I didn't. Yeah, that's not gonna. Image builder. I'll just click on it just to. Yeah, I started trying to make one, and you have to. The reason I didn't like it, I remember. You know, I was going to try to make a copy of this system, and the reason I didn't like it is because you had to add every single application one at a time. So it's not an image builder. An image builder would give you the option to either pick a bunch of packages or copy the system you got and be able to install it on a new system. They used to have that. It was for CDs, but I added Firefox, and then I realized it does do the dependencies for you, I think. Yeah, it does the dependencies. But, you know, there was just it was no use to me whatsoever. I'm not going to go in there and put every application I want one at a time. That's why I don't run OpenSUSE. That's the way the OpenSUSE builder was. I built, well, actually, you could get groups, I think, because I did build a couple of OpenSUSE systems years ago. It's an RPM distro, and I like RPM distros because that's the one I learned on. I learned on a remix of Fedora from 2005. Fedora remix. It was called Blag Linux. It was built on Fedora 5. Anyway, that's what I got started on, and so all the the very few commands that I do know in the terminal and stuff, I know Fedora. It ran Fedora. I mean, I don't know how many I know, 10 or 15 or 20, but in Debian, I can only reasonably remember maybe 5. I did run Debian for about 2 years, but and I'm running on my laptop right now with my web server on it because it's an old laptop and it can't run Fedora. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna just click somewhere until what's this? Oh, it's still the deal I was trying to build. It didn't take. Where's the overview? There we go. Just wanted to go somewhere basic. Okay. So it doesn't tell you any. I really thought it would tell you something about hardware errors and stuff. You can reboot from there, do stuff like that. I have done it before for some certain reasons, but see if it says anything about. No, nothing in there about errors. Wonder if it would probably. Nope, doesn't have a driver disk in there. So I don't know. Talking about the, whoops, my mouse wheel did that. Memory, bus controllers. There's my video card. It does see that. Smart array, the 410i. Display controller, that's it again. Bridge. Memory. That's talking about the processors, I think. 56, yeah, it would be, because look how many there is. 5600 series, and that's, I thought there were 53, but anyway, that's the series of processors, I think, is what that is. I haven't looked at this. I have looked at it, but it's been a long time. It didn't really have anything out really help me out with anything I needed to know at the time, So that's it. Yeah, the processors are. Well, there's the model number of them right there. There's the server and BIOS version. It's still from 2010. I have been really kind of. Oh yeah, the CPU security mitigations, 253 gigahertz. I have been scared to try to update any BIOS stuff because I don't want to break the machine. I mean, it's all working great, but. Morton always says, it's always a good idea to update that stuff. It's different. I clicked on mitigations. I'm moving ahead of my talking. Anyway, I've been watching him do it for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years now. And I may do it one day, but I have to have my head on straight. Hey, mitigations for the software-based workarounds help prevent CPU security issues. These mitigations have the side effect of reducing performance. Change these settings at your own risk. And I was like, well, I don't even want to do it then. Disable simultaneous multi-threading NOSMIT. Save and reboot. Read more. Oh, and it takes you to Red Hat website, which I went here and I read around on it, and I just decided terminal fault attack. similar to Spectre and Meltdown, if you've heard of them. Let's see. I was trying to get to the part where it tells you. It's, yeah, it's really technical, of course. It actually explains it to you, though. But anyway, I think it has mostly to do with yeah. Untrusted guests, virtual machines in an environment using virtualization. Virtualization will require specific action by a system administrator. That was the main thing I was concerned about, was the virtual, that I was wanting to run virtual machines. So yeah, it's all about virtual machines. So I wasn't running them, so I didn't never do it. So I still don't know why for like 10 or 11 kernels it wouldn't run. The old one ran, the one that was running ran perfect from the day I installed Fedora 32 until that one day. Towards the end, it's into life. Well, I don't know. There was on my boot, in my boot screen. That's the only place I can really see them. Well, I can go to the file manager and see, but hard to count them that way because there's extra files in there. But anyway, I'll log out of here while I'm jabbering here. And I will go to here to make sure I'm still live and everything's working. Now it made me forget what I was telling about, but yeah, so I will go ahead and pull that hard drive now. Yeah, still live, still working. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close that. And I'll leave the manual open in case I need that. So, yeah, I went blank at what it was saying when I tried to expedite things. I just ruined it. Okay, so I'm going to switch mics so I can go over there. Let's see how well it's going to work. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks like it might be on instead of way behind. So if it was going to be way behind, that would really be bad. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've got it set right. Okay, so I'm going to get you, and then we're going to go over here to cam 1. Hopefully it's working. It is behind because I waved my hand in front of it and still haven't seen it yet. That's the problem with the one in the cameras over the Wi-Fi. I did it for years. Sometimes it helps to go to the desktop and then go to it. Sometimes they just don't catch up. My biggest problem now is that like I said, I have that security before. Oh, I think it's back. Okay. My security camera, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. The security camera, though, uses 5 megapixels worth of Wi-Fi constantly, and I have 2 of them, but I turned the one in here off. But anyway, let's go over here. Oh, let's see if I can get over here and do it with the door. I've got all these, some of these boxes down here are stuff, and I'll go ahead and show them. Over there, a lot of that was up in the closet, but I've also accumulated a few more things. And the cable just reaches over here. So anyway, I can't open the door all the way. Okay, so the light is just, solid yellow as it was. Other than that, everything is just fine. So let's just take it out. Let's see. Yeah, they are made to hot swap, and I know that it's dusty, and I haven't felt up to cleaning it. And it's probably making it hotter. I mean, it's doing fine. I check it
Now let's see what happens. And I'll get this other one. See, it has a little, yeah, those are what, 2.5-inch hard drives? I want to take it over there and look it over. But, oh yeah, it's blinking green now. Turn the lights out, maybe you can see it better. Yep. So it's going to start picking up. I don't want to leave that hole open for too long, though. I'm going to go ahead and put the broken one in there no matter what, because I don't want all the cooling to bypass all the hard drives and go through there. I guess I could take it out of the tray. And I do have, this is, I worked very hard before I put the server in the closet. It's setting up. I don't know if can't get my phone far enough up in there. But that fan that's just hanging there on zip ties is what it is. I originally put in a vent fan that I bought at Amazon, and it ran 2 hours and then started making noise and started slowing down. So that was the night of me working my tail off, setting all that up. I had that fan in the floor, and I went ahead and put it up there so that I can have some cooling. And now it's been months and months. I'm not even sure anymore. But let's switch over to the that endoscope that I set it under, and we'll look it over. So, what kind of drive are you? I know they're HP drives, but which way do I go to turn it? There we go. Oh, actually got it at a good height for that. So it's an HP 146 gigabyte. There's model numbers and all that good stuff. Oops. And evidently it really has failed. And I think maybe it was kind of, I forgot to mention at the beginning of all this, after all this happened, while I was spending hours setting up my video stuff, I did hear that dreaded hard drive rattling sound, that seeking sound. So it was, I never heard it before, but I did. Maybe it's because I never was listening for it. Let's see what else is on here. Yeah, but it was, I'm sure that was where it was coming from, because, well, the machine that I do have I have two machines running. It is possible. Well, I think I had the headphones on when I heard it. Took them off and I couldn't hear it. And there is I don't see why you would hear something that sounded like a hard drive rattling through this audio system. But there is a little buzz. I do hear the machine hum. My video card also has sound. That's the only sound card. Well, I've got that USB one that I use for an input, and it will do output, but it's terrible. The adjustment is crazy. It'll go from nothing to too much and drive you crazy. So I use the HDMI cable, sends video and audio over to my TV, and then I use the line level output of the TV, and it's noisy. I don't know if it's noisy from the computer or from the TV. You wouldn't think, it's a brand new TV, you wouldn't think it would be noisy out of the TV. So unless there's something wrong with it, that's always possible. But anyway, oh, there's the rest of that sticker at the top. I didn't notice that a while ago. So it's, I always forget. That's 3 inches across. So 4 inches long. But it's and it's about a half. I can't get that under there. Yeah, it's about a 1/2 inch thick. It's just like a laptop drive, size-wise. Of course, this is a SATA drive. But I think what I need to do is get the screws out of it. guess I can do it by raising this up. I think that's the best place for me to work on it, is right there. But oh, okay. I can't really see the screws and stuff that good, just with my glasses, but that helped. Let's see if this screwdriver, my favorite screwdriver, will work. Yeah, it looks like it just has one here, one up there, and oh, there's the other side of it. But yeah, I want to put this cage back in there, the case back in there, because I don't have another drive. I want to put it back in there because I'm worried about the server overheating. Yeah, it's kind of impossible for me to. My screwdriver's right up by the. Oh, there we go. I could probably do it that way. Boy, that is a tight screw. I don't know why it's so tight. Good. That screwdriver has a magnet on it. I think I have another screwdriver that might fit in there, but also, now let's see, this other one might not be tight. Yeah, it's not. That one felt like it was cross-threaded, which it must have been, or else it had some, never been out of there and it had some thread lock in it or something. I don't know if they do that with servers or not. But why would they do one and not any others? Well, that blue stuff to show if you'd gotten something out of warranty, thread lock, I guess, blue thread lock, that might be what it was. And they might only do it on one just to save time and money, assembly time. Yes. So, yeah, I'd have to get it out of there to test it anyway. I do have a hard drive, a USB hard drive adapter, and I might be able to hook it up to that. I'll have to see. I think it may be all completely different. So, am I still, yeah. Okay, I'll go back to camera 1. Now we'll get up and put this little bad boy, just this thing back in there. Wait, before I do that, I have some more hard drives over here, but I don't think I got anything anywhere close. See, these are all regular. They always say 2.5 and 3.5, but that was, what is it? I already forgot what it was, but it wasn't 2.5. And these are, I think they're 5.5. And I know that what's in there is not. I think I have one laptop hard drive that's not any good, a SATA hard drive somewhere. I tried to, it was weird. It would let you format it and write to it, and then it started giving errors. I kept messing with it on and off for years. But I might have put it in a box so that I would remember not to mess. I wouldn't find it and mess with it. Oh no, I'm running all the way into my other camera, the one that I haven't even used yet, the one that's pointing to the monitor. Okay. So, I guess you can just, I've got the string from my light right in the wrong place. There. Yeah, now it won't be pulling air through that hole. I learned that from Morton. He always warns about doing that. Yeah, I need to pull it. The thing is I have to take it completely out of there to take the lid off of it and clean it right. But even just cleaning the front would help some. Yeah, there's actually on the blinking lights, it'll tell you what that means, what the different blinks means, and but you can tell they're being written to right now. From watching videos and Morton saying what's going on, but I mean they're blinking kind of very different than they normally do. So I know it's doing it. Now I wish I had a way to. Oh, ILO. Why didn't I think of ILO a while ago? Let's finish looking at the drive and then we'll get into IO. Those screws have got to be put somewhere before I don't lose them. Okay. Go back to the endoscope again for a minute. Yeah, IO will tell me the things I was missing from the... Okay. Yeah, I don't think that would fit in my hard drive adapter. Yeah, that's completely different than, you know, I don't think any of the, you know, I was planning on doing what a lot of people have been doing, and that's putting 2.5, I guess they call them 2.5 inch. The drives that are in my backup, my USB backup drives, so they're supposed to be this size and they're supposed to plug right in. But that is a different interface than I'm used to. Let me get my adapter just to make sure, but I don't think, not quite sure where I left it. Let's see. Might as well let you look for it with me instead of just, of course that makes it harder. I got to do it one-handed, but oh well. So in here, oh, there's a old hard drive enclosure. It'll work with the old 10, 15-year-old laptop drives. I thought it was going to be a regular one when I bought it. I didn't remember the sizing right, you know. But yeah, okay, I don't think the one I'm looking for is in there though. Actually, the PCB for that got messed up and I was trying to fix it, but I think I made it worse. Okay, what's here? Sorry. I really didn't have any plans to dig around in this stuff. So just now, those are just cables and some old 54 megabit Wi-Fi adapters. Okay, so I got me a Raspberry Pi camera that I still haven't set up yet. I've got a Raspberry Pi to hook it up to. Okay, I could use it in my videos, and it would be better. It'd be better. It's an 8 megapixel. It'd be better than the. I don't remember how I had this now. Okay. Oh, I think it's down here. Okay, now I can't do it this way. I shouldn't be using this held-head camera. I'm never any good at that. Making terrible videos again. Okay, now, that's why I have to set up everything on tripods. Ow. Oh. I do not know what's moving, but there's something on my chair that is, I can't find a loop. I didn't turn it over and inspect it yet, but there's a screw that, you know, you can tell it, it can hear it and feel it. It lets the plate go like that and then snap back down. When I feel around down there, I can't find any screws that are loose. It feels like it's right there. Well, that's not what I'm doing today, is it? Okay. This, I believe, has what I was looking for in it, doesn't it? No. It's just got more goodies in there. Tuner, TV tuner, USB sound card. I wrapped a, oh, I know why, because this one works on some machines okay. I mean, it works, but the one that's, I got two of them and I bought them at different times and paid $2 for them each. Now you can't find them for that. But anyway, they're USB sound, that's USB sound cords. Darn it. Back hurts. When I was pulling and jumping and doing all that, I made something hurt. Am I just crazy? Okay, the first place I went may have had what I was having it, may have had it, and I didn't see it. So I'm going to go in there without the camera so that I can actually do something about it while I'm there. I can't figure out the way to get the stupid thing open. I guess I can pull it out of there because it's kind of dark in there. This is where I was looking to start with. This thing that I have. Oh, there's a little tab. That's why I didn't want to do it here because everything's out of the picture. But oh yeah, those PCIe gigabit Ethernet adapters I bought. Oh, there's that old watch, old Timex watch, Casio. I think that's a Casio. Look at there. I've been seeing people doing. You can't really see it good. Doing the projects with This don't work anymore. I really liked that watch. It was a calculator watch back in the 1979. Anyway, yeah, I saw some projects on Hackaday where they were making new PCBs for them. I thought, I'm not going to do it, I'm sure, but what's that? Parts of some sort. Oh, that's the rest of that thing. And it's PCB, this thing here. Yeah, I was right. There's nothing in there. The thing I'm looking for. I set it somewhere else. Lately I've kind of started doing things like that. Putting things in better places and then you never can find them again forever. It's usually best once you put something somewhere to just, oh, there it is. It was on top. I was sensing the right area at the beginning, but I've gotten dust all over me now. I start coughing and choking. Okay, now this thing is it's pretty old now, but it'll do a IDE and SATA. But yeah, okay. My brain kind of went crazy. I know what SATA looks like. Yeah, it's one little connector. And that is a completely different thing. And then it has, it'll actually do floppy drives and regular IDE hard drives. I used to use it a lot. The power supply went bad on it, but I've got, my amplifier is actually, I'm using 2 car amps, 280-watt car amps, and 2 computer power supplies to power it. And I can pull one out of there, which does work, but it puts noise in the audio, and I can't stand it. But so then I made, my old server is down there in the floor. It's an old Dell 450 megahertz Pentium 1, I think. My first server I set up. It's just a desktop, but it made a good server. And anyway, I put a long cable coming out long, can't say the name of those connectors, but one I just showed you, and I can still run it. I can still run, yeah, there's that adapter. That little short SATA connector was an adapter, so I can still run stuff. But that's not going to work. Only thing I've got that'll run that drive is the, now I remember what I was thinking about doing. Instead of doing what I just did, taking this out of there and everything, I was going to leave it in there and put it in another slot. I started to do that right away, and I thought, no, I want to look it over under the endoscope and all that stuff. But let's turn it back on the endoscope. Yeah, I was going to put it in there and see if I could format it or whatever, do anything. I read it. There's all kinds of... I don't know, since it's being this is out of a RAID array. I've never done it with a drive that was in a RAID array. So, but like with that adapter or just physically plugging it into the machine, I've got software, Linux software that I can use to check it out, check and see how bad the errors are and all, and see what's wrong with it. Sometimes they show to be bad. Because something went wrong, unknown, and then it's really more of a software. There's software on these too. Everything is software on it. Firmware is what they usually call it. And something just farted out in the firmware, and then it may be all right again for a long time. I wouldn't want to put it back into my actual system, since I know it's been kind of acting up the last few months. But I'm just kind of looking that stuff over. Yeah, see, there's a connector. That edge connector there is completely different than any regular one. So, but I don't see any. Not going to take it apart. I could later, but if it's for sure bad, but I'm not going to take it apart unless it's really actually bad. But the PCB doesn't look like it's had any shorts or anything in it. So, and that's probably not what goes wrong. Well, you know, here's the thing. One thing I've learned from the beginning of me considering actually buying a server, when I was watching all the videos about them, HP is famous for firmware problems that's making their drives show to be failed. And of course, they don't support these anymore at all. But you know, it might be possible to get the firmware and reflash it. Morton doesn't do anything like that. I've never seen him. But it's hearing the phone ringing. But yeah, I'm going to put it back in the slot. So I guess I'll go right back over there and get the, I'm just going to grab it this time. And sounds like the phone is not on, the answering machine's not working. But now I don't know which way it went in there. I think it'd only go in there one way. Of course, you got to put your... Let's go ahead and raise this up again so we'll see more of what we're doing. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it does, yeah. So you got, line up the screws, and then it's in there. This one doesn't have a bottom in it like a lot of them I've seen. It's just got two rails. I guess that's fine, but... And luckily this is a magnetic screwdriver, so... Yeah, there we go. That one started. I'm getting them all started before I... It's actually not hard to do, except for that, that one screw that was... I don't remember which one was the one that was tight now. It's too close, I guess. Don't see anything on that one that looks bad. So. Oh, there's that. Yeah, there must be something wrong with that hole, I bet, because it doesn't want to go in there. Don't really have anything to clean it out with either. When you get one like that, yeah, it goes, no, it doesn't want to go into that one so good. Maybe there's some aluminum on those threads and I couldn't see it. Let me get, let's just start this other screw and see if it goes in there. Hard to say I remember which end it was on, but it probably was that end. I'm not sure. Don't know which way I had it. Yeah, it's going right. That goes right in there straight. So it's the screw. It's acting up. It may be a little. They're so small. I don't think I could file them or anything, but maybe I can at least. Yeah, the reflections are too bad. I'm trying to look at. I can't hold still. Let's just shove it on down, and then I won't have to hold this. Yeah, there we go. Doesn't look really like there's anything wrong with the screw. Endoscope is pretty good, but it's not quite that good. If it wasn't for all the lights in the ceiling, oh, there we go. I don't see anything in the threads. Well, I guess I will put it in this other hole, the last hole I got left. And hopefully it will. Yeah, it goes pretty far in there before it's. Oh, that was perfect. I don't. Maybe I had it crossed, but it was hard to turn in this one, and this was the first one I put it in, and it was real hard in there. But I swapped screws and it worked fine, no problem whatsoever. So. There we go. Now it'll be ready to go back in there. 146 gigabyte. I didn't really have a lot of attention to all the numbers on it at the time, earlier. And whether it said what size it's considered to be and all that. 5 volts and 12 volts. Boy, running this server and my Lenovo at the same time, I get hot at 878. It's been staying 78 every afternoon, but when it gets up, well, it's 80.04 now, and I'm starting to actually sweat. And I turned the air conditioner, I don't know if somebody changed it, but I turned the air conditioner down to 74. But with my door shut and everything, I don't get that good of circulation. Okay, so I'm gonna come back and change to a different camera. I guess I was gonna not do this again, but might as well. I don't like when I'm doing such a terrible job on the video, but oh well. Now, very good. Okay, I'll light, camera, action. Okay, that was the action. There, it's just turning up yellow though. Yeah. Oh, yellow and green. It might be trying to get in there where you can see the lights. Yeah, yellow and green, so I don't know what it's doing. Cool. See how long it does that. The other one is still working away just fine. Well, let's go see. I don't think you can really see anything that way, but I thought I'd try it for a minute. In case you couldn't see the blinking lights. I can't really tell if they're on. I'm aiming good with the light out. Yeah, it's just yellow light stays on and the green is blinking. So, and that's in the 8th bay. It was in the 2nd bay. So now at least I can try to connect to it and check it out with some software. So I'm glad I went ahead and looked it over. Now I have a video, close-up video of what those drives are. But yeah, my original plan was to buy like probably 10 gigabyte drives. The cheapest way I've seen to get them is in the Seagate or whatever brand of backup drives. But there'll be SATA drives, not SAS drives. These are SAS drives, and they are faster than SATA drives. So I didn't mind using them because they, even though it's six drives to get 500 gigabyte, so they're all 1.46 gigabytes. They're not very big. Let's go ahead and get our audio back on the SM58 because I have no idea if that was way behind or what was going on with it. But okay, now I think. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever even tried. So I'm just gonna let the server run
like I've been doing, and it's I believe now that it is. I could look back at the manual. Let's see. Maybe we can even find out the blinking lights. It actually tells you what blinking is, what's going on of the lights. Okay, so some of those. Yeah, here we go. SAS and SATA hard drive LED combinations. Okay. Okay. On-line activity LED green. Fault UID LED amber and blue. Okay, so we've got a green and a yellow. So on, off, or flashing. The drive has, but it's also doing alternating amber and blue. Okay. Let me just look through here. I don't want to read every one of those. Yeah, so the amber's always flashing in all these conditions. Okay. Steadily amber, amber flashing. So there's not one for amber with green, both that I can see. Okay, this is that's the one I had at the beginning, just steadily amber. So that's the only one that says steadily amber. Yeah. But there's things like, well, I'm not going to try to read them because I'll just mess it up. It'd be better, like I said before, you want to screenshot it and read it. But yeah, that's the section there of the manual that gives you that. And then it's got it for PCI, riser cage, LEDs, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I thought maybe I could find something that would actually be helpful, but I can't really wrap my head around it right now. So, and this is still making my video. Okay. Yeah, there's the manuals I've gotten from, I've got the, this is the one I had open, and then there's the server user guide, the ILO, and the quick specs. I got those off from the web, HP website. So, what was I going to do? I was going to, yeah. Going to use search, I think. There we go. That's an application search. Not sure. I'll go ahead and try opening that one up. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. I'll make sure I'm on the desktop, SM58. Okay. So, see what we can see. 250 gigabyte hard. Oh, you're so funny. This is the machine I'm on, not the server. Haha. That's why you need Cockpit. And so I spent forever looking through Cockpit. Well, let's just go back in there one time and see if what the readout has to say. But obviously it's not going to tell you. Oh, ILO, yeah. Oh yeah, I can't get into ILO. You know, I've had both of these keyboards set up here ready to use, and I'm actually only using the keyboard on the Lenovo. So I'll move that other one so that I can work a little more normal. I thought I'd be rebooting it and stuff, but now I don't want to because I want it to. I think it's going. Well, yeah, that's the thing you should do if you're gonna. Once you swap the drive, I know what it's doing because I've seen it in videos. I've seen it in the instructions earlier today in the manual. Don't don't just swap drives and then shut it down or reboot it or anything, because then it won't move the data, the backed up data from the RAID onto that new drive. But I want to see if it's working is what I want to do. And in order to get on, so I'll have to, I can't, the new web browsers won't work with ILO. It won't let you go to it. It thinks it knows better than you. Trying to protect you, you know, from malicious websites. And yeah, and you need an old browser that will run Java 6. Is it 6 or 8? One or the other, or both. So anyway, I had to do that in a virtual machine, and I haven't got that set up. I'd have to set that up here, and I may do it, but let's see. All I have to do is download the React OS ISO. But first, let's just go see what happened in this one. See if it changed its readout. Let's see. It didn't change anything in here, and it didn't throw any errors that I can see. That's the one I pulled out. It's got a drive in there. Unrecognized data is all it says, just like it did before. So that's all it's got. Now then, I just downloaded that ISO. It's only, but it's on the server. There it is. Windows NT clone React OS. I've been using it. I've followed it for years, but I never found too much use for it because it didn't. It was still in beta. It's been in alpha. It's not even in beta yet. Still, after all these years. But it is cool because it can run Windows applications just natively. You know, that's what it's for. Okay, the downloads for React OS. I'm not going to go to the website and all that and wait, you know, it'll take more time. Oh, what is this done? Okay, it is going to download it. I believe that is the new one, if I remember right. So we'll go ahead and download it. Can't scan it with, what's it called? Well, anyway, that's my scanner that would scan it for me if it wasn't too big. I'll go ahead and, while it's downloading, this is the homepage for it, reactos.org, if you're interested in finding out. Yeah, 0.4.13. So that's the newest version. The one I have is like 0.3. something or something. The one I have that I've been using. So that's all the news about it and what all they've got going. But it's a Windows NT clone. I believe is what they call it that too. I think they call it they may not call it a clone, that may be what I called it. But anyway, it'll run Windows. It's basically, it's aimed at being just like Windows XP. So anything of that type of software, if you want to run it, like Internet Explorer or Firefox. I actually end up using Firefox 3 something, like 3 dot something, and using the Java, old version of Java on it and all that. There it is, 121 megabytes, so it's not a big file. And while I'm in the browser, I'll go ahead and just make sure everything's working. May get to the point to where the open widget. So something's going wrong with my stream now. Maybe because I've been going for a long time and it can't handle it anymore. My router might be getting tired. So something's going wrong with my stream now. Maybe because I've been going for a long time. See, I'm on the desktop. That's usually the best as far as and the machine. This is the old machine. It's not as it is still streaming. But oh yeah, I definitely can't run. Kind of wanting to see if that'll get better. Yeah, this page though uses too many resources. I can't stay on it, so it is still working. It's just saying yellow, not critical. Okay, let's see. 412, yeah. The kilobit, the speed, yeah, it's kind of low. It was saying I had it set to 5,000 kilobits, and it was the other day it was saying that's not fast enough. We recommend 9,050 or 9,500, and well, this is kilobits. They were saying 950 megabits. So that's this is 4 megabits. That's 9,000, 4,000 kilobits would be 4,000 megabits. So anyway, it used to be fine, but now they were saying you need more. But I only have a 10 megabit, kilobit, megabit, gigabit. I only have 10 megabit upload speed, and it usually stays around 11 to 13 even sometimes. But I've got other people's on the network here, so I can't take up all the bandwidth. I wouldn't even try setting it to 950. That would only leave me 50 megabits left. Then I'd have other kinds of problems. Nurture couldn't stream. If you did that and it was really taking that up, it wouldn't take. It only takes up what it needs, but if it did start like cramming up 950 megabits, you wouldn't be able to do anything else on the internet. So I set it at 6 megabits or 6,000 kilobits, and it was just fine the other day for a long time. What I was wondering is how long is this? Hour and 52 minutes. Oh, I thought the way I feel so tired. I thought it's because it took me from 5 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning, whenever it was I started. When my logs. Of course, that was just when the errors started. But anyway, 5:30, 6:30 until 10:30, I think it was when I finally started streaming. So, trying to think what's the best way. The only way I'm going to be able to show anything is by getting into ILO. You know what? I can log on to the big boy machine. I don't think there'd be anything to stop it from happening. Let's go to the downloads. There's my file. Yep, it should be finished now. Okay. I want to go ahead and put it in the folder that I want it to be in. I don't have a React OS folder. Let's go ahead and do this. That's how I like to call it. I guess I think somewhere I read that's what they call it. I'm not sure. There. Now I can put that over there. I was going to just boot this up. Oh, you have to install it to run it. That's right. That's not a. It said something when I read about it the other day, an article about it, and I went ahead and downloaded it. It said you can run it somewhere. It said you could run it as live OS, but I couldn't find it. I booted it up in the server in VirtualBox. See, this machine's not very powerful, and it can run React OS. I'm pretty sure, but what I had done is installed it on the. Go ahead and get to the camera for a minute because my stream was kind of acting up anyway. I had gone ahead and installed it, and I was using it to log into ILO. What I can do, I can still log in to the desktop of the server, and then I can get into ILO from the one that's already installed on it instead of trying to mess around installing it on here. And it'll have the power to do it, and it'll still do its data backup and all that with a RAID in the background, whatever it's doing. I'm sure it will populate that drive that I popped in there. I just was wanting to kind of know if it was working. I thought maybe an ILO would tell me. I don't know that it will for a fact because I can't remember seeing too much about the drives in there anyway. But tell me what's going on and whether or not it's going to have a problem, because it was formatted. You know, that drive was formatted. I think it's just going to say, since it, what you saw when I was in cockpit, Fedora's cockpit remote admin, it was saying, you know, unknown data, you know, no data, unknown data, or whatever it said. Even though I had formatted them in there, I didn't just format them to ext4 or something like I would normally do. I formatted them as RAID 0. So yeah, so that would just, it would just be empty. It's just, I just made it a RAID, a virtual, really, you know, an LVM RAID drive. It, I don't know, because I never messed with RAID until I got this server. I learned about it some before I got it, but I messed with LV. That's all. Since '05, I had to learn about LVMs to work with the file systems in Linux. They started out with, you know, it had the ext1 when I started, and then it was 2, 3, and 4. Now ext4, and then they have a bunch of other type of file systems. Fedora's actually starting to use BTRFS, or a lot of people call it, like to call it ButterFS, BTRFS. I think I set mine to all into ext4 because if anything goes wrong, there's GUI apps to fix it, and in BTRFS you have to do it in the command line. Plus, it's in a server, and it didn't need to. See, BTRFS is kind of like a software RAID built into it, and so I didn't need a RAID and a software RAID. I knew I was going to run RAID 5 on it, so I didn't think I would lose that much space. You do lose some space that way. So, yeah. So I don't know where that camera's ended up pointing now that I banged into it, but let's see. Yeah. Well, let me get up there and aim it properly, and then I'll log in. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, as soon as I move the keyboard, now I want to use it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and log into the server, because, you know, it's been running this whole time, but just booted to the command line. So doesn't respond. There we go. What did it do? I think it didn't work. I think I might have, yeah, I hit. Okay, now it's asking for the password. I've been using the yeah, okay, I did get it right. And then you can, I just have to hit the up key, because I use StartX every day, so up and down arrow keys up page through your commands. So I hit the up key one time and it brings up StartX, and then I guess you need to go up and then you can go back down think if you hit down first, he won't give you anything. But so now we'll be logging into the to the server. See, getting there way faster than this other machine. I always open up the system monitor, because then if anything, I can see if anything's going wrong and using up too many resources, and I can kill it from there too. But yeah, so I figured it would do that. I didn't know 100% for sure that it was going to work, but I figured it would, because it was just, you know, running like it normally does, and I just hadn't tried to log into it yet. So got the camera set. The sun was shining on the window when I started, and I turned it down, the settings down to the darkest I could get. I think I need to change it a little bit. I've never actually done that, gone that far back in the exposure. It's going to be blurry no matter what, because that's a 2 megapixel phone camera, and it just can't do any better than that. Because of where I have to use the zoom. It's the thing you see. I got quite a bit of zoom. 2x, I guess, is what it is. I think I'm going to leave it on 0 exposure compensation now. Well, the picture went away up there. Went away. There we go. It's probably about as good as it's going to get. Okay, yeah. So get out of that. Now what? Oh, I was going to check my stream again. I want to see if it got worse or better. I could be talking to myself right now. I mean, I'm still making a video, so I'd have to upload it, though. That was not what I meant to click on. There we go. Okay. Might be back to normal. It's good again. Okay. So I don't have to quit unless I want to. What I was thinking, if I have to, if I need to, I can go ahead and check the audio on it. Oh, I'm using headphones on the other. There we go. I'm using headphones on the other one, but this one's plugged into the speaker system, so I could hear it. Luckily, it wasn't. I think it echoes when it's playing like that, though. Okay, so yeah, I don't want the web browser. I want the. But see, I'm streaming from this other machine, so for you to be able to see anything and be able to read it, I need to stop streaming on this machine and start streaming on that one. I already tried doing what you can do with OBS Studio. That's what I'm streaming with. You can set up a backup stream, and then you can shut down the main stream, and it will go automatically to the backup stream. But they have to be. I tried to do that the other day, and I couldn't, because this is 1080p and that's 1440 4K. So the server is. So I can't do it that way. I have to just end the stream. And actually, I need a break anyway. So I'm thinking. Let's see. So I'm going to have to do that. And what do I want to do? I'll go ahead and get back on the camera again. I want to see. I'll get into ILO with using React OS. And I'll go in there and see if something in ILO can tell me what's going on with the drives, you know, like with the backup situation and all that. It should be restoring data to, you know, drive 2, which was, you know, I had it in drive 8, but I pulled it out, put it in drive 2, and then, ended up putting drive 2 into the drive 8 slot because I want to be able to see if I can test on it and stuff. And the only thing I've got that can read it is that machine, so I can't test on it from anywhere else. I have to be real careful because normally I do that not from the operating system that runs on the machine, but from we used to be CDs. Now I use SD card and an adapter or a USB stick with some tools that I have different. Usually I use I can't think of it, but anyway, some different drive testing tools and stuff that are in a live operating system, Linux operating system. But you can do it. I have some pretty good. I have 3 or 4 decent ones on the server and on this machine, but not the. Let's see. There's a couple like the drive. The drive health thing that. There's one that's on. I can't think of the name of it anymore. It's just for recovery type work that I like to use. Which I'd have to boot into that. And of course, I couldn't. If I'm streaming on the server, then I couldn't do that. I'd have to, and I can boot the server from a USB. I mean, I can do that. But yeah, first I'll just see if what's on the machine or something I could even install would do what I need to do. Tell me the information I want to know. ILO or some of the drive reporting, and they're mostly just for like checking the health a little bit, but mostly just for formatting and stuff like that. The ones that I have, G-parted, and well, the Fedora disk. I don't know what they changed the name of it over a couple of times, once at least. Anyway, I opened it up a while ago and then I realized I'm on the wrong machine. But I think it's got a different name from then than it does on. This is like Fedora 28 or something. I can't remember now. I don't think I have anything in here just telling you. See how hard that's working? Oh, you don't see that because I'm still on the camera. So, yeah, see, when I was on that camera for that long, it went up to 68%. Now it's back down to about where it normally stays. But see how hard the drive is? This 4-core. There's such a world of difference between having 4 cores and 4 gig of RAM as to having 64 gig of RAM and 24 cores with 24 cores with hyperthreading. So, yeah, I'm getting where I really need a break anyway, so I can take my break. I can. Oh, yeah, I don't have to use. Oh, no. Once I shut this machine down, I can flip my KVM switch back. See, I have to have it on this machine I'm streaming from in order to see it. It goes away when you flip back to the server. So, but I can shut this machine down. It won't be so hot in here. I can, after a while anyway, I can, and my mouse and keyboard will be normal. It won't be that. I don't like the wireless. The keyboard's too small. The mouse is too small. Everything's weird. I have enough trouble as it is. Okay, so that's what I'll do. I'm going to shut the stream down, take a break, and come back on the. It's running. It's fine. I can use it. And so then I'll try to investigate the drives a little more. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Okay, I'll be back after a while. Hopefully it won't be too long, but I don't know. You always run into stuff you don't expect when you think I'm going to come right back. So, but I should be back in a little while. All right, see you later.